Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our Arena Football League Week 6 wraparound. We're going to go around the Week 6 schedule in the Arena Football League and take a look at some of the key games that we have coming up. And we're going to start in Philadelphia as the Soul play host to the Jacksonville Sharks. Big pickup this week by Jacksonville by getting Jomo Wilson back in a trade and adding him to an already talented receiving core. Quarterback R.J. Archer is off to an outstanding start as well, tossing 22 touchdowns already on the season. Now, tying up loose ends for the Sharks will be the biggest task this week versus Philadelphia, i.e. doing better on third downs offensively and playing better special teams. Those two things are the difference between the Sharks being 4-0 and 2-2. Now let's move over to Philadelphia in this ballgame, who's sitting at 1-3 on the season. Offensively, they finally caught fire last week as the Soul knocked off Orlando. But what hasn't been as stout as originally thought is the defense. And right now, they only have 4 sacks on the season on a unit that was one of the league's best last year. Versus Jacksonville, it's pretty simple what they have to do. The secondary needs an encore performance of what they did last week versus the Predators. James Romaine and company did a great job, won plenty of battles above the rim, and now they face an even tougher task with the speed and athleticism of the Sharks receiving core. Now here are some coaching points for both teams in this ball game. For the Sharks, they have to welcome Jomo Wilson back quickly in this offense, get him involved early and often throughout the ball game. And on defense, you have to sell out on the goal line, taking away one of the Soul's biggest threats in fullback Derrick Ross, who's a terror near the end zone. And this goes without saying, your protection has to be solid up front in any football game. You have to protect the quarterback, more so versus a team like Philadelphia that does have the talent to get pressure. They haven't shown it so far this season, but you don't want this week to be the week they get it going and get after the quarterback. And as for Philadelphia in this ball game, pressure, bust pipes, it ties into the last point I made for Jacksonville about having solid protection up front. They have to be able to get pressure on R.J. Archer and slow down this passing game to have a chance. And they have to keep the sticks moving on offense. Jacksonville does a great job in getting teams off the field on third down. Right now, they're tops in the league in third down defense. And they have to stay aggressive on the corners. Like I mentioned before, I love what I saw last week out that secondary competing versus Orlando. And if they can do the same thing versus an even more talented receiving core in Jacksonville, they can win this ball game. I like Jacksonville in this ball game. In a game that will feature 2 outstanding and explosive offenses, you have to go with the better defense of the 2 squads. And right now, Jacksonville, with their third down defense and their ability to play well in the red zone, I take their chances going on the road and knocking off the Soul. Now here are some of the other intriguing matchups that are happening this week in the Arena Football League. San Jose takes on Portland for the second time this season, and Portland has yet to find its stride offensively as an expansion franchise, and San Jose is one of the strongest teams in the league top to bottom. This will be a repeat of Week 1. I like the SaberCats to roll big over the Thunder. And what should be a defensive battle between 2 outstanding defensive football teams, the Los Angeles Kiss take on the Iowa Barnstormers. And outside of Donovan Morgan, the offense has been struggling a lot out there in Los Angeles. They're still trying to find their way offensively. And as for Iowa, same rules apply. Last year, they were very stout defensively. They couldn't get out of their own way offensively. They have to become much more explosive. So again, a low-scoring game, but I like Iowa to win this ball game. Keep an eye on defensive end Mike Lewis, who's one of the best defensive players in the game. And the surprising 4-0 Cleveland Gladiators take on the 4-1 Spokane Shock. The Gladiators have won both ways this year, high-scoring shootouts and tough defensive battles. However, this week versus Spokane will prove to be their biggest test yet, as the Shock come into this ballgame averaging 60 points a contest, led by quarterback Eric Meyer. The Achilles heel for the Shock has been their third down defense, and if Cleveland can sustain some drives early, they have a great shot on the road. But I think the Shock's offense will prove to be a little bit too much for the Gladiators to handle. I like Spokane in a close one. Now here are some of the other games that are on the Week 6 schedule in the Arena Football League. The Tampa Bay Storm travel across the state to take on the Orlando Predators, and you have the Pittsburgh Power traveling out west to battle the red-hot Arizona Rattlers. And in New Orleans, a big battle between 2 teams that really don't like each other. The New Orleans Voodoo play host to the San Antonio Talons.